What's up, guys? Back here another week, sticking with the nutrition theme or something right around the nutrition theme. I'm going to talk a little bit today about, uh, again, a little disclaimer here, my thoughts on food prep and meal prep and things like that. So, I know this is one thing that people do or try to plan to do a lot of times to save some time. We're all busy, and that's kind of my goal is to try and help, busy people. We have kids activities, we have work activities, we have our other things. So try and help busy people be successful. So obviously the meal prep and the food prep and the things like that is a big deal. And you can look on the internet and see a bunch of different videos and pictures of things, and it's beautiful. Like, these people have all the containers laid out and portioned out with everything like that, and their packets of the shake and their, bars and stuff like that. And it's all laid out for the week. And, it looks really good. I've done that. So if that is something that you haven't done before, I have done that, and it is helpful. But I'm going to be upfront with you guys and say doing that, it may save you time during the week, but you still have to prepare a significant amount of time to do that. So I used to do it 2 hours on a Sunday when one of the kids were taking a nap. I would get out my stuff. I should be chopping things. I'd be prepping food. I'd be cooking. I'd be doing all this stuff. And it was great. I loved it. That was like that was my thing. Yeah, but after a while, it was like 2.5 hours of the only free time we had when the kids were sleeping. So then my wife was like, "You're no help." So that kind of got old. And then, of course, sometimes you just get tired of eating the same thing all week. So again, if that works for you guys, stick to what works for you guys. But I'm just going to share you a little bit about how I do it, because we got two kids and activities. My wife works full time, I work full time, and all that good stuff. So I usually plan my week of meals before I even go to the grocery store. Hopefully, you guys do the same thing, so you're not running to the store or just eating out every week. So, and then you have to look at your schedule, guys, and see what nights are busiest. So Wednesdays, for example, are really busy evenings for us, at least at this current time. So I always plan a crock pot meal for that night. Um, so crock pot is your friend. If you like the Instant Pot, that works too. Um, so find different modes of cooking that help, but also find ways where you can, or plan meals where you can kind of plan for leftovers. So the meal prepping that I talked about for the weekend is usually, portion containers that you can take to work with you for lunch each day and all that stuff. Like I said, it takes a lot of time, and then typically you're eating the same thing all week. Not really my thing. I'm over that. So what I do is I always plan my meals for leftovers, and then I just take leftovers to lunch with us. We take leftovers for lunch with us the following day. So that's an easy thing. It takes no additional prep. You just make a little bit more food for dinner the night before. You don't have to spend hours chopping and preparing and all that stuff on the weekends. So it's easy. You cook one time and you get 2 meals from it. Okay, so that's one tip that I have for you. Another tip that I have is maybe find something that perhaps fills a gap for you guys. So for example, I usually shake up a shake in the morning for breakfast. I get up early. I usually go to work at 6 o'clock, so I'm downstairs early in the morning. Everybody else is sleeping. I'm not going to be chopping vegetables and cooking omelets and putting stuff in a blender and all that stuff, because I'm going to wake up the whole house. It just doesn't fit for what I do. My wife, sometimes she's on the road a lot, so she'll take the shake with her, and that'll be her snack, or sometimes even her lunch if she has enough in it. So something like that, if you can find something that fills a gap for you guys. If you're constantly on the road, instead of pulling into the drive-through, maybe plan ahead with something easy like a shake or I don't want to say a bar or anything like that, or even just easy meal leftovers that you can take out in the car and eat. So maybe you had salads the night before, and maybe you put it in a wrap so you can eat it while you're driving, or something like that. So just thinking ahead, simple things like that, that can kind of fill a gap and make some of the difficult times to eat well a little less difficult. So guys, those are the two main tips. One thing I'll tell you is, if as far as meal prep and meal planning and things like that, two things that I've come to realize that I like to share with a lot of people One, get used to eating leftovers. I know a lot of people say they don't like it. It's the best thing you can do because, like I said, you cook once, you can eat it twice or sometimes even more. And two, it's not always bad to pay for convenience. And what I mean by that is you can go to the grocery store. If you're making soup or you're making something that you have to prep all these vegetables and cut them or, cook them or anything like that, it's not always bad. And sometimes it's worth it to pay for convenience. Okay. And what I mean by that, if you go to the grocery store and they have containers of pre-chopped onions or pre-chopped celery or carrots or, they have bagged celery sticks and carrot sticks instead of buying the whole thing of celery and cutting it yourself. It costs a little bit more, but think about what's more important to you. What is your time worth, and how is that going to be more beneficial to you? Is your time going to be better spent chopping up vegetables and doing all that stuff, or is it worth it maybe? And that could be meal dependent, week dependent, night dependent. Is it just going to be worth it to pay 50 cents to $1 more to get it already done for you? So those are the two main things that I like to try and tell people: is get used to eating leftovers. They're fantastic. And it's sometimes it's worth it to pay for convenience. So at the end of my long-winded video here, if you can remember those two things and think about that when you're going into your meal prep, then maybe you've wasted 6 minutes of of your day. So I apologize for that. But guys, hopefully this was helpful. I'll stop talking with you now, but just my thoughts on meal prep and some things that have worked for me and now things and some past things that haven't. So I'll shut up. Guys, if you need any help with anything, please reach out. I'm always here to help. If you want any other information on anything else, let me know. So guys, take care. Hope you're having a good week, and we will catch you next time. Later.